So first of all, like I said, my name is Michael. Thank you for reaching out to be a part of one of these.
Yeah, man.
I always like doing the in-person ones. They're always a lot more fun than
for sure.
Doing them online, which nothing against all those bands, but yeah. So basically, the way that these kind of goes, I have like a small list of questions to kind of guide us through.
Cool.
Obviously, there's 4 of you versus 1 of me. Tangents are cool. Inside jokes, we'll see where those go. It's always fun to feel left out of those.
Sure.
But other than that, it's mainly just drinking some beers, having a good time, talking about your band, and
cool,
and all that fun stuff.
Sweet.
So, any questions before we get started?
I don't think so.
No.
No. Cool. We can swear and stuff, right? This isn't on the actual radio.
No, yeah, you're good. It's just YouTube.
Cock balls.
This is radio of the future.
You don't just celebrate it, Frank. You know that's from
No.
I just said no.
old school. He goes cock ball. Like you don't just celebrate it, Frank.
So yeah, I usually do an opening crack. I'll count us down and then bring the 4 of you in if you want to participate in that. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, if anyone wants to use a koozie or coasters, feel free. I'm not too worried about the table, but yeah. Other than that, we'll just have a good time. Cool.
Sweet, sounds good.
All right. In 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the Beers with Bands podcast with your host, Michael Torres. What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Beers with Bands. This week is another fun one. I've done a lot of in-person ones lately, and it's been a good year for in-person ones, I feel like. This week, I'm sitting down with Unstable Shapes. How y'all doing?
Good.
Doing great.
Hell yeah. For people that might not be aware, Unstable Shapes, you guys are... I really like how you guys put it. A noisy post-whatever band based out of Minneapolis that recently just put out your debut LP, which has been fantastic to listen to, that we'll get into here shortly. But before we get too far, can you kind of go around the room and say who you are and what you do in Unstable Shapes?
Sure. I'm Ryan. I play guitar.
I'm Kevin. I play bass.
I'm Mitch. I play guitar as well.
I'm Andrew and I sing.
And I know we are missing one member tonight.
James.
Yeah, James. He plays the drums.
He couldn't be bothered. He had to go
He's working a show.
He had to go see Goldie, I think, which is cool. If you're gonna see Goldie,
I'm gonna drop out to Goldie after we're done with this. I think it'll be a jam.
Well, like I normally say for the members that can't be here with us, this is where we pour one out in their honor. By pouring out, I just mean we have a drink. We don't waste beer around here.
Yeah.
But like I mentioned, you just released the debut LP. I think I saw first show of your guys's was like February 3rd, 2023. I know that I wrote it down. At 331 Club. So you guys have been pretty, relatively new for the last couple years. I think I read it even started pre-pandemic. Like how close was it to that like pandemic era of just being like we started the band and then everything shuts down?
Oh, that's like exactly what happened.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we made
practiced
a practice.
Kevin,
We started up about 6 months before the pandemic.
Not even. I think we practiced with you like 3 times before.
Yeah, I think you came into the mix like January.
Yeah.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, because we shut it all down in March of 2020.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I was remembering driving out to Richfield a lot more than maybe I actually did. But yeah. But yeah, it was close. It was close.
And it was just the 4 of us initially. We didn't find James until spring.
After things started opening back up.
Spring 2021 or so.
Yeah, even before, we didn't even find him until... We found him before people started getting vaccinated, but like before...
Just before.
Just before.
Yeah.
I think I got vaccinated first because somehow I got randomly selected.
I got it first because of Quinn. I had a baby. She was a preemie. She was born 3 months early, so like... I was able to get early. On that. I think you were like, right.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter.
It was just really weird because like I got an email from the government. It's like, hey, you can get a vaccine. I was like, this seems off, but
it's real.
I miss Mexican restaurants, so let's do it.
Every band that I've talked to, obviously, pandemic was a few years ago, but also just not that long ago. It feels like it's still a weird time construct, but it's like I commend you for that happens, and then being like, okay, we still want to keep this band going, because that would have deterred a lot of people of like a sign of from God of being like, maybe we don't do this band.
Yeah. Well, we don't believe in God.
Well, it's fair.
True. Despite the weird,
there is a lot of Catholic allegory and imagery in it, but like, yeah.
but also emphasis on Catholic. That explains
yes,
why there's
exactly.
a lot of it, and also
Exactly.
why we don't believe.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think, I mean, I don't know if we hadn't found James. I don't know that it. I mean, we're friends. Like, Mitch and Ryan and I knew each other for like 10 years before we started this.
Yeah.
And so we were friends before. So like, we would have hung out regardless. And then we met Kevin to bring him into the band.
I think if we hadn't found Kevin, yeah, we definitely
wouldn't have made it without Kevin.
Yeah.
And there's a possibility we would have made it without James, but probably not. Like, I think
Yeah, we just couldn't find anybody. Like, we were barking up all these trees, like, because we know a lot of people, and a lot of people play drums, and I was like, hey, are you looking for something? And they're like, nah, I think I got too much on my plate.
2 things already, or whatever.
And it's also like, none of us had really done anything in that musical sphere for a long time, or at all, so it's an unknown quantity. It's, like, hard to recruit, like, because nobody wants to be the one to tell your friend, hey, I don't really play with your band, because your band kind of sucks. So, like, for a long time, like, we just could not find anybody. And then we found James, and then I was like...
It clicked super quick.
Yeah, it clicked super quick.
It clicked really quick.
Like, he did my podcast, and, like, when I left my podcast, I called Ryan, and I was like, I think I found our guy. Because, like, James and I just, like, before we even met, I didn't know him. I just met him to do my podcast. And then I was like, I think this is the guy. And, like... vaccines were still probably a month and a half, 2 months out, but I was like, I think we should like try to do this, because it was like we had no idea if we were going to start this back up again, because we'd only written like one song and
a half.
Yeah, and so it was like, it's not like it was a full blown thing that like fell apart. It's like it never really got off the ground in the first place until we had James. So. I mean, we could see where it was going, but it wasn't going. It wasn't getting there. So.
Yeah. I think too that like we've never like really tried to like force stuff. Like we're pretty slow at, or we were. Hopefully we're not going forward, but like it took a long time to get these songs together. To I mean, we started recording October of
2023.
23.
Yeah.
So like it took, even with James in the band, over 2 years to get not only enough songs to play live, but then also to have enough songs to record. So, yeah.
Did you remember how many songs we played at our first show? Was it like 7?
I can find out.
6 or 7.
Did we play
I mean,
a couple
that's
that first show or
a
not?
bit of time it took us, but I will say, like, I've been in other projects where the songwriting takes far longer, so...
I think with
I'm
us...
appreciative that the songwriting goes relatively swift as far as... At least in my experience.
I've always said that we're really slow to get to songs, but once we actually set our teeth into it, we're pretty good about just tearing it up.
Yeah.
But yeah, it does take us a while to actually like get started on it in earnest. But once we get there, like, yeah, it's pretty quick. Mm-hmm. Our first show, we played 7 songs
at the 331 Club.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which I just recently finally went to 331 Club after living here for 5 years. Like,
You had never been
oh
there?
man,
Wow,
that's like my lost 30s.
So funny enough, you guys are actually playing that show, except I happened to leave a little bit before that.
You were at that night?
Toilet Rats
with the Toilet Rats.
Yeah. Oh, the Toilet Rats
Toilet
show.
Rats.
Yeah. Great show.
Yeah.
You fucked up, Mike.
It was a fun show.
It was a late night already for me.
Oh, it was a late night for us, too.
Yeah.
But that was a fun show. Toilet Rats rules.
Oh, yeah.
Toilet Rats
I love
Hem
Toilet Rats.
rules. Yeah, that was a great night.
But yeah, that was because Tommy texted me that earlier that day and was like, "Hey, we're playing a show," and I was like, "I'm already going to a show at First Ave."
What was the show at First Ave?
Well, it was funny enough. JoJo was at First Ave, but I went to 7th Street to see Carly Cosgrove and Max Seal. So I left after the headliner played a little bit, and then saw Toilet Rats and stayed, I think, for a little bit longer while my friend finished his beer. Then
Did we close that show?
Yeah.
We did play that.
Yep.
We went on at like
It's always
12,
late.
20. Yeah.
I mean, we love that spot, so we're like not
Yeah.
super pissed about it. But it's like a late night always when we play there.
Well, I've noticed that since I moved here, and I don't know if it's just because you guys are all older than me, so I can't really say like I hang out with old heads.
Old heads.
Well,
Shots fired.
In my friend group, I'm like the youngest at 32, and like I think the oldest is 38. And like when we lived in our house together, like we were all introverts, so we didn't really go out much. So like when I see people like posting like, oh yeah, show starts at 9, we go in at 10, and it's like fucking.
You're like, I'll be there at 10:01.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, it's 6 space, so I see what you guys love playing there, especially having your first show there.
And we just have like a personal history there too. Like I think like if we had now it's kind of Grumpy's because we practice like right by Grumpy's, so we'll go over there for a couple afterwards. But like in our social lives, like 331's been like a really important venue for us, completely separate from the band.
Yeah. I used to be a part of a trivia there. It was every Friday for 13 years plus.
Yeah, it was co-host.
Yeah, so I was there every week pretty much. So
you broke out the sickest jams to be played between every question.
Every question, yeah.
But all this accumulates and it leads to the debut of the record. Obviously, started it recording like fall of 2023. I think I saw finally got done mastered in like July of 2024, and now we're releasing it. Came out April 11th of this year, called Delicate Machinery, which has been a joy to listen to. Like it's so good. Like it's filling this weird void that I didn't know that I was missing, which I really love.
Thank you.
Right now,
that's very cool.
Sign of the times, my friend.
Yeah.
And I was like trying to pinpoint for like people that are listening, because obviously we said that you guys say like you're a noisy post whatever band, and I was trying to like pinpoint exactly what I was feeling with it, and I listened to it today through headphones in the truck and on the computer speakers, and like every time I listening to it in the 3 different versions, I was getting like 3 different feelings.
Oh wow!
So like in the truck, I was getting more like Drug Church style vibes.
Okay.
And then I can't pinpoint exactly what I was feeling when I was doing like through headphones and then on the computer, but it's such a solid album to come out with as the debut.
Man, thank you. That's really cool of you to say. We appreciate that.
How does it feel that it's finally out after all this time?
It's really
we took so long to write enough songs, and then like recording we did it in like 3 chunks.
Yeah, it was kind of did like 4 songs each session, pretty much.
Yeah. And it was just like, time constraints and stuff. Like
fundraising too.
Fundraising too, yeah. Like no one really wanted to shell out other money out of pocket, so we did it in a couple different bursts.
We got scrappy and fundraised.
Yeah.
Yeah. Our producer Noel has said like when you're young, you think your hobbies are going to pay for themselves, and as when you get old, you realize you pay for your hobbies.
Yes, definitely.
But yeah, we were sitting on, and then we finished it, and we finished recording in July of 2024.
Yeah.
And then we were like, well, let's see if anybody wants to put it out. Mm-hmm. And that took a bit.
Yeah, we sent it out to I don't remember exactly how many labels I sent it to, but it was probably 25 or 30.
Wow. And we had some good conversations.
We did, for sure.
But it was like, they all had, 3 projects in queue lined up, and that, they're not, they're not Capitol Records or whatever. They can't put out all this stuff at once, and they're just like, oh, it would be, a year plus down the line, and it's like we obviously didn't want to sit on it that long.
Can I just go on a weird tangent?
Sure.
Okay, please. So I discovered this doing my podcast, Life Was Peachy. What's up? So I was looking at the turnaround time from when they finished recording to when shit was in stores. This is in the late 90s. They would finish fucking June 1st. Records in stores July 17th. I'm like, that is bonkers. I just don't even know how you.
That's the metal era.
That's a well-oiled.
Yeah. That's also back when labels would pay a band to record it, and they would just do it.
Yeah.
They would get.
They probably had oversight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's still just crazy because they still had to manufacture it. They still had to warm up the promotion machine. Yeah. You know what I mean? It was. I would just be blown away. I'm like, this shit was on the racks 6 weeks after they finished mastering it. That's crazy.
Yeah. But these are also huge records too that you're talking
True.
about.
Well, not always, but sometimes, yes.
Aspired to be.
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily good ones.
Not necessarily good ones.
But huge ones.
Yes.
Yeah. But then eventually, we ended up kind of talking to Reiner through, like, I think it was Instagram
so we sent
or
it
something.
to Learning Curve, or we thought we sent it to Learning Curve,
right?
Like in that initial flurry of things, and like somehow I don't know, we never got through really. And
it wasn't he like, hey, why didn't you guys send me this? Like, wasn't it something like that? We're like, we thought we did.
Yeah, and then I don't know, our friends, Battery Eyes, like Reiner put them on like some playlist and was like asking for other bands, like, you know, recommendations for music, and I was like, hey, you should listen to this band, our band, it's cool. And he was into it, and then just kind of went from there.
Yeah.
Which is so awesome.
Yeah.
And it's funny because in the back of my mind, from like the beginning, I was like, I feel like Learning Curve would be a good fit.
Yeah.
Like, we'll get, like, that would be the most likely thing to put us out. And sure enough.
Yeah.
Yep. And it's great that he's local. You know, there's a lot of bands on his label that are local. A lot of them aren't too, but
yeah,
the ones that are great.
I think we got lucky. Like, I mean, there was labels that we were talking to or like hoping to hear from that were not local. That would have been awesome. But I think we got really lucky that with Reiner being local, because it's made the process, like, we've had a lot more control than I think most bands get, because like they press the vinyl records like 12 miles from my house.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's
Like
nice to be in that
we
ecosystem,
went to the plant and watched it push it down. You know,
It
like,
was super cool.
it was super cool, but it was also like because we were working with a company. Our buddy Brad was like the sales rep who took on the order and like shepherded it through all the way from production. So like we knew we were in good hands. Like, because it's like you just never know. Like, especially if you're pressing your record in Europe, it's like, okay, so you ship it off and you cross your fingers, and then like 6 weeks later you get it and you're like, well, shit, you guys fucked up the matte printing. Well, too bad. Like, what are you gonna do?
Yep.
You know.
Or like our friends in Curve, they had their record pressed in Italy, I think.
Yeah.
And then they didn't get here in time for their release show.
They like got
because
held
there
at
was,
customs
like,
or something.
There was
right?
like a strike of like the
That's
Italian
right.
like
transportation
board or some shit like that, and it's like you never know, especially now with like.
That's such a like. That sounds like a 20th century, like turn of the century, like, hey, these Italian mailmen, they just won't. They're on strike.
Yeah.
Like, it's so ridiculous, but that shit happens, man.
Yeah. But yeah, we got to go watch it get pressed, and we knew that like, even if push came to shove, we could probably get enough copies to sell the show. Like,
we could go pick them up if we need to.
Yeah.
Like, hot off the presses.
Yeah.
Like 10 minutes before we have to be at the venue if necessary.
But
thankfully it wasn't.
The tour is really cool. Like I don't think we have enough good things to say about that experience with Copycats. Like they welcomed us. They let us go. Like, I think you got a puck. I got a puck. I got a puck of our. Yeah, yours is kind of.
You got a nice one.
Yeah, I mean it's still gross and weird looking, but it's
No,
cool.
it was super cool. I was surprised. I thought it would smell more.
Yeah, yeah.
More chemically. It didn't really.
No.
It didn't have like that new car smell.
No.
That's too bad.
You'd think it would smell like you almost picture like it'd be like New Jack City where they have their like industrial like breathers on respirators.
Yeah.
No, it's not like that. I mean, I think maybe on the production line, maybe they were. I couldn't remember, but yeah.
It was sweet though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that's really cool that you got to experience at least like seeing it getting pressed and like taking that tour.
Yeah.
And then how did it feel like that initial moment where they're like, all right, here you get to
Fucking
go
awesome,
and just get to
man.
hold it.
It was
for the
very
first
cool.
time.
Yeah.
Like, that's one thing I'm always envious of every band, like in a good way, that you know you get to put something out and like put it on vinyl and like actually hold it in a physical format. Like I always joke that I do this podcast, it should never be pressed on vinyl.
Yeah.
It'd be crazy, but like I'll never get that moment of like I worked on this and got to put it out.
But you never know though, man. Like I didn't think. I mean, when we started this band, I was like 38. Like you never know. Like so, like don't give up on that dream because like who knew if we were gonna make it? You know, like. So
I mean,
also,
our
it
band
really
has
is
succeeded.
incredible when you get
Mitch,
to
you
hold
were
like, your
like-
record in your hand like that.
Yeah.
It really does feel
Yeah, I mean,
fantastic.
we felt so lucky that we were able to put something out in general. So lucky we were able to put it out on vinyl
Yeah.
through a label, and that
Yep.
people like it. Like it's been awesome.
Yeah, it was really cool. I just remembered at the press that the guy's name was Dustin. So Dustin was the guy working the press, and he's just like, yeah, I just think that red vinyl looks so cool with your labels. And I'm like, dude, that means a lot. I know it's just like a dumb little thing, but it's super cool to know the guy pressing your records is like taking pride in it and thinks it looks cool. Like, I don't know. It, like, that's an experience like most people just don't get.
Right.
It doesn't matter what level of success you're at. Like, most people just don't get to talk to the guy literally like stamping that shit into the wax. It's cool.
Yeah, and for people that haven't checked it out, it's this beautiful translucent red, which, you know, ties along perfectly with the cover art. I love that the decision to do red to kind of.
That's 100% why we picked
candy apple red.
We were looking at, like, because we liked like crazy weird shit, and we were looking at it, but I was like, I think we gotta just kind of do it right, like simple like this, just because it like ties in so well with the cover art. But like we've talked about, like if we do a repress, like maybe do a different color.
Yeah, the other like next contender I think was like a dark greenish blue to tie into like the carpet or like the couch or whatever.
Yeah.
Some of the other figures in the rest of the, you know, liner notes and stuff.
Yeah.
Are in that tone.
Yeah. So who knows? We'll, if we buy our records so we can print more.
Yeah. Going back into the record, obviously we kind of talked about, you know, recording it in waves and like the time it took. Was the idea always to do an LP, or was there any thoughts of doing like an EP for the first release?
He's vehemently opposed to
Yeah.
I hate him.
So at least Sock and I were very gung-ho about the vinyl part of it.
You mean the LP part of it?
Not necessarily, but just
Full
like
length.
wanting to do a full length,
Yeah.
press it on vinyl. That was kind of always something, you know, that we were aspiring to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like, for the first release that we were going to have, I think at least Andy and I were pretty dead set on having a full-length record.
I think like for me, I think this might catch me some heat. I'm just like, if you want to be a dope band, fucking do dope shit. And like putting out a full length, that's a dope thing to do. And I also think that, like, at least from where I'm coming from, my lyrics are best consumed in long form. I don't think that they work in short bursts. I think you kind of have to have the whole thing to kind of get the arc of it all. So like for me, it was like EP was like never an option. Like I think I even told them, like, you guys can record EP. I am not recording EP. Because it just doesn't, like, I just don't think it works for what I'm trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
There's also too like the trope of like, oh, band puts out a cool EP.
Yeah, big things coming.
They break up.
Here's an EP that's unmastered. Break up.
And sometimes they're really cool, and then it's like, oh.
Yeah. I think part of it is also, I think we felt a lot of investment from our friends. I don't want to call it fans because that sounds pretentious, but like the people who are into our band, I think we feel like, for me anyway, I feel like we owed it to them to give them something that can really resonate with them. And I think it's 38 minutes long. Like, I think it's like the perfect length.
Yeah.
That you can take it and digest it and go back to it and whatever, but like it's not going to overstay its welcome either. So
because that really is the tough thing with a lot of LPs that I listen to is you get to song like 6 or 7 and you're like, fuck, it's already like there's still more to this. Like not in a good way. And it's like this record was like that perfect time amount where, like, just like you said, like you can finish it and not have a problem like going back through and like taking it in again. Like it's the perfect amount.
Yeah. If you're out running errands, you can listen to the whole thing while you're running errands, and you're good.
Yeah. Like we kind of talked about, there's a lot of like deeper meaning in this. I know there's like loss and just I'm blanking on another word, but I'm just gonna move past that. But in it was the Glass Ladder. You reference Franz Kafka.
Oh, Herzog Blues.
Herzog Blues,
Yeah.
Thank you for correcting me. So I had to look that person up because I didn't know what it, like who they were or anything like that. And like obviously in the song you talked about like getting an axe and like, you know, making a name for yourself in that respect. So I figured they were going to be like an axe murderer.
Oh, sure.
And I was very surprised to find that they were more of like a writer instead.
Yeah.
Like, how does that all tie in?
So that song, when we first wrote it, I was kind of trying to write it from, I don't know where I got this idea, but I was like, I'm going to write this lyric from, like, the point of view of Patrick Bateman from American Psycho. I think it's because, Ryan, I think you have, like, an American Psycho shirt or something. Yeah. Yes. And maybe I just, like, saw that and I was like, okay, well, challenge accepted. And then, like, I don't know, like, so Kafka is I guess you could call him an existentialist writer. He's from Prague, he died in, like, 1925, I think it was, something like that. But he's a really interesting cat. But he has this quote that's like, and I'm going to mangle it, but it's something like, good literature should be an axe to break the frozen sea inside of a person. So the axe is actually a reference to that, not murdering somebody. But I like the ambiguity of that, and, like, there's a lot of ambiguity in the record that, like, you can take what you want from it. And so, yeah, like, it kind of has a little bit of that, but yeah, it's more of a reference to that. So, yeah, check out Kafka, man. He writes, it's weird shit, but it's cool, man. Metamorphosis is like a classic.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Check it out. Yeah, like, a lot of your lyrics are, like you said, double meaning, but then it's just kind of things that I've never thought of, or, like, because Glass Ladder, you mentioned that obviously in Glass Ladder about how like all these things aren't how they used to be, but then I don't even know what a glass ladder really is.
Oh, sure.
Like, I always think of glass ceiling and, like, you know, like that respect. So, like, it makes someone that, in my standpoint, that doesn't understand that stuff to, like, listen to the record and then be like, okay, I need to go look up this stuff and like figure out the deeper meanings and see what I can, you know, take in from it, or like what I interpret.
For sure.
It was just cool to have a record that is kind of doing that.
Yeah.
I listen to a lot of emo stuff, Midwest emo, so like a lot of that is pretty on the nose. Girl broke your heart type deal, like figure it out, we've all been there. But like this stuff is like,
yeah, I mean there's plenty of that stuff in there too, but it's maybe more like allegorical or something. I don't know. Like, yeah, I mean with the idea with Glass Ladder, like, I mean the idea behind, like, not to put too fine of a point on, but the idea behind it is a glass ladder is like, when you step on it, it breaks. So you can't go backwards on it. You can only climb upwards. So that's the whole idea behind it. Is like, like time moves on. Like you gotta move on from where you're at. And it's okay to be sad about that, but the reality of it is there is no going back.
right.
So, yeah.
From like anything that, you know, he's written and brought to you guys, was there anything that always stuck out to you that was kind of surprising to find in a song?
Yeah, tell me how good of a lyricist.
I refuse. No, my favorite line in Bones about raining on Christmas.
Yeah, you like that lyric.
I think it's really great.
Cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I mean, that was just because like, I guess this would have been not this most recent Christmas, but the Christmas before that. I remember I was driving around and it was like, it's fucking raining and it's Christmas Eve. Like, what is going on?
Was it that long ago?
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
I thought it was the last Christmas, but I guess that.
No, we recorded this shit.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's a cool line. They told me the world isn't changing, but it's raining on Christmas Eve.
Yeah,
it was raining, and it's fucking.
Yeah, I think a lot of people write lyrics that are so vague that like, you kind of they just don't mean anything, and because they're afraid that like if you're specific, that it's gonna be too specific. And I don't think that's the case. Like, I think just because you can't identify with an experience doesn't mean you can't appreciate it. So, like, when I'm using specific language, like, it's raining on Christmas Eve, like, yeah, maybe it didn't rain for you, but, like, it's an image you can lock into, and you can be like, oh, what would it be like if I was expecting it to snow, and it's not, it's raining.
Yeah, I mean, if you live in Seattle, that might not have as much
sure,
to you.
But we're from the Midwest. Like, here, like, if it's raining on Christmas Eve in Minnesota, that's fucked up.
Yeah. I mean, you can take it metaphorically, too.
Yes, it is meant to be metaphorical.
You're going to go spend 2 days with your family. I mean, that could be literally raining on your Christmas Eve.
Yeah. What I'm trying to say is there's fucking layers to this shit.
Yeah.
It's really good.
He's very humble.
I'm very
obviously.
Humble, yeah. I'd say humble is like one of my top 5 qualities.
Almost to a fault.
Yeah, I'm like too humble sometimes.
There's fucking layers to it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know. I think pretty much all of Feral Joy is the third track.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are really good too.
I mean, that's by far my favorite song on the record, just in general.
Is it really?
Yeah, like
it's always interesting when we talk with somebody else because we learn things about each other.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean that Kevin's got a driving bass line right off the bat, and then, yeah, just like you haunt. I don't know, just like all the lyrics that are in it resonate. Like I feel like we've all kind of been in that situation about what you're talking about, and it's, it's just having someone kind of constantly haunt you.
Yeah, and I mean,
and like to the point where you're all out of joy.
Yeah.
Or for that segment of time that you are. So.
Well, yeah, and not even that you're so out of joy that you're like rabid. Like you're just like a shell of a person.
Yeah, it's like, okay, not to draw a comparison, but it's like when fucking Charlie breaks High Fidelity.
I thought you were gonna say Willy Wonka.
No,
you lose, sir.
Yeah, when Catherine Zeta-Jones breaks John Cusack's heart.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like he loses 10 pounds.
Oh, Charlie in High Fidelity.
Yeah, he loses all sense of self, just completely fucking loses it.
Also,
speaking of Rain as well.
Yeah. Is there any funnier than the line like, Charlie, you fucking bitch, let's work it out?
Yes. Yeah.
It's so ridiculous.
So yeah, I mean, I feel like we've all probably been there at some point.
Yeah.
But no, and that breakdown at the end of the song is just Mitch's little I don't know, it's not a solo, but it's a cool
the fun breakdown
during the bridge. I'm not gonna sing what you play, but
oh, there's not really anything in that bridge.
No, it's a fun little bridge. I ripped off the Stooges in that breakdown. I had fun with that.
That's cool.
Yeah, I have fun with that one.
All right. Well, I forgot this.
I have no shame in ripping stuff off.
I still shit all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
But I like that part of Bones too. That's great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You talking about the end, the part just before like the last microverse thing?
Yeah. I am confusing the bridges of the songs. Yes, but.
And now when we play that live, I just like scream at the top of my lungs over that part, like away from the mic, and it's very therapeutic.
Breathe away from them. Move away from them.
I'm moving away from my Shout out to Tay Zonde.
He might be listening someday.
He probably lives like in this neighborhood, bro.
Do you know who that is? Tay Zonde?
That's before your time.
That was
like 20 years ago.
That was like one of the earliest
Chocolate
memes
Rain.
of the internet. It was Chocolate Rain.
Yeah.
He was just this weird nerdy guy that had like this super deep voice.
Yeah. And he lived here.
Yeah.
He did like
Didn't he
Dr.
teach?
Pepper.
I had
commercials.
no
He was
idea
a
he
TA at
was
the
from
U.
Cities.
Didn't Foss have a class with him?
I think so. Yeah.
Somebody we knew
ours,
had a class that he was like the TA for.
Okay.
You gotta pull up YouTube
It was
and
a
look
huge
for
internet video.
Chocolate Rain.
Like,
And
I am today years old finding out that he lived in the Twin Cities.
Oh, really?
I
Yeah,
did
he's from
not
here.
know that at all.
and the video is really funny because it's just like him singing in the microphone, but like you see him like move away from the microphone, and you're like, "What the fuck is
Well,
he
then
doing?"
there's a
And
caption.
then he puts a caption and it goes, "I move away from the microphone when I breathe," because clearly people were like, "What the fuck are you doing, dude?" Yeah, Chocolate Rain, man. Let's just cover Chocolate Rain.
We can't.
Yes, we can.
No,
Yes,
we
we can.
can't.
No,
I feel like that song is very much about race, and we're a bunch of white guys, and I don't think that that's appropriate.
yeah, it is kind of, yeah, you're right. That's fair.
Yeah, but if we did it as a goof, wouldn't that be just the white man move anyway?
It has 140 million views on YouTube.
That's a
Holy
lot.
shit. 17 years ago.
Bottom line is Chocolate Rain is worth investigating.
Yeah.
I'll look
Just
it
for
up.
a gag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got any lyrical
Lyric stuff? No, not really. I'm the most least lyrically adept person.
Yeah, you don't give a fuck.
I am all about texture of music, so half the time, famous songs.
And you know what? I appreciate that about you. 'Cause
Yeah.
like on my podcast, I talk a lot about texture, and I think that gets overlooked a lot. I think that's.
I love the texture of your voice.
Oh, thank you.
I'm all about the texture of your voice.
But
in
I
this
think
band.
I think the songs are what hook you, but like the texture of recording is what keeps you there. I think.
Yeah, I like textures.
Yeah. Top 5 textures. Let's see here. The grippy tape on a fucking diving board.
Oh, I was thinking skateboard, but
Yeah, that too.
same thing.
Let's see here. What else? I don't know. Watermelon. Like biting into like a nice
crisp watermelon bite.
Keep going. Let's hear the rest.
A fancy.
I'm invested now.
All right.
The texture of a fancy new hat.
I have. Let me think. I like Cadbury chocolate. That's a nice, smooth, textural touch point.
Cutting into a fresh bowl of Jell-O.
Jello's weird, man. You gotta like. I like my Jello to be very dense. I like a dense fucking Jello. If it's like too fucking sloppy, I'm like, this shit's whack.
The first bite of an ice cream cone.
Yeah. And plastic bag blowing in the wind, like Ricky Fitz.
What's your least favorite texture?
Oh fuck.
Mushrooms.
I like mushrooms. I can fuck with mushrooms.
I can fuck with mushrooms.
Yeah.
I don't like mushrooms.
Oh, bro, I'm not gonna say what I would say
Noted.
because like it will gross people out. It's yucking somebody's yum, so I'm not gonna say what my favorite texture would be.
Remember it. We'll talk about it later.
Oh, I will tell you later.
So for the Patreon version of the episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I like sound textures a lot too.
Yeah, I think it just adds, and I think that's one of the things that Noel does. Like whenever somebody's like, "Oh, we're looking for a studio," I'm like, "Listen, let me tell you about like our producer Noel. I think he does that thing better than almost anybody, and it's almost imperceptible. But like when you hear stuff that doesn't have that, to me, I go, it's just kind of missing that little thing that you can't put your finger on."
Also, I think Noel did it. Noel was a great choice for us because he was really patient. I mean, like, I've never made a record. And Noel was really good at, like, giving us time and like, not getting frustrated with it, I think. But also, I like texture to a fault, and I have too many fucking guitar pedals.
You get
and, like,
option paralysis.
Yeah, if I had my way, I probably would have spent, like, months just like, oh, let's try it with this one. Let's try it with this one. Oh, this one's a little bit different. And Noel was like, no.
He knows when to cut you off.
Yeah.
Like,
which was good. I appreciated it.
I almost wish Noel lived.
We experimented enough, but, like, I thought we were going to, like, reamp and I could just, like, play everything, like, and twiddle knobs while we're hearing it and change the sound. And it was like, no, we're not going to fucking do that.
There was a number of times where the solution, if we couldn't quite figure out how to make something match up during the production, the solution would end up being like, oops, we accidentally just dropped it off. Oh,
yeah, we just cut it.
Yeah, and it more often than not, it actually worked in the record's favor. There was a part where I forgot to play a part, and then we just realized it sounded better that way.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
That was one. There's a section at the beginning of Bones that I think I normally play on. For whatever reason, it wasn't matching in the editing of it.
Yeah, that's right.
And so you guys dropped it. Again, it sounds fine.
Yeah.
Well, also, like, Ryan and I went in, because we're like, oh, we want everything to sound, like, really huge. And we went in and recorded a bunch of extra guitar tracks for certain songs. And then we got the mixes back and we were like, oh, this sounds mushy now.
Yeah.
And Noel told us, he's like,
you
get too much shit on there and you're just going to, like, lose all clarity.
Yeah.
And then we just ended up cutting some of them. I think it's still beneficial because we got, like, different versions of things, but instead of having, like,
he will humor
tracks,
you to prove his point.
Yeah.
I think too. He will say like, "Here, this sounds like shit. I told you." Like,
yeah.
You know.
And he's also game for like trying shit too.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, for
like
sure.
there was a couple things we did with the vocals. Like I did not plan on doing them going in, and we were just like, well, we tried this, you know, and like I think that's part of what makes him such a good producer is he's naturally inquisitive and interested in doing interesting things, or just buttering him. I can't wait for him to hear this. He's gonna be like, you guys fucking. But like I think that's a big part of being a producer is you just got to be open to seeing what you can have. Like sometimes you just don't know what you're gonna have,
right?
You know, like. You know, if you're a chef, like sometimes you don't know what's going to be on the menu until you get to the restaurant. You see what is in the cooler, you know.
But it's also good to have someone that like is open to doing like things your way too, because like you know some people always want to go to like a big producer that always does like you know big name bands of like this specific genre, and then all of their stuff that they produce sounds like that same vein.
Yeah.
So like you go into someone that doesn't have that same mindset and it's just like. Your record will be your record. It's not going to sound like X, Y, and Z's record at the same time. It's always nice.
Yeah, I feel like our record sounds like us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, we've also known Noel, or you know, Andy's known him probably the longest, but
that's why I figured out it was 20 years.
Yeah, and like I've known Noel since for 16 years, maybe.
Something like
I
that.
probably met him a decade ago.
Yeah. So I mean, we also knew that he wasn't going to be, like that kind of more of a controlling.
We knew what to expect.
Yeah, we knew what to expect going into it. So.
And we have that shorthand with him. Like he would be like, do it like this, and I'm like, oh, I know exactly what you mean. Whereas like other producers like might, or just engineers or whatever. Like I think it's safe to say Noel produced this record. We credited him as producer, and I think he earned that. But some people just like do it like this, and I'm like, I don't know what the fuck that means. But when Noel tells you, I'm like, it's because he already knows us well enough that he knows how to say it in a way that we'll get it, and that's huge.
Yeah, that's always good to have, because then there's, they're that under, like, obviously you credit them as producer, but like they're also that secret sixth member of the band.
For sure, yeah. And that was a conscious decision on our part, like, because like we know all kinds of people in the scene, and we'd even talked about maybe bringing other like guest vocalists in or something like that, and I was like, I kind of think it's cool that it's just the 5 of us and Noel. Like 6 people made this record, like, and I did the artwork, so it's like it's really just 6 people who made this record. And I think that's cool. Like I don't know,
yeah, especially for the first
one.
around,
We might open it up on the next one. You never know, but like it was such a like an important thing for like us to just do this together, and we recorded like 2 miles from our practice spaces, and
In a basement.
In a basement.
I feel like it sounds really good.
Yeah, we can't undersell.
I'm not like bragging about it, but I think that like it was recorded in a basement for pretty cheap.
Yeah.
And I think it sounds really fucking good.
Yeah, I think like we can't oversell how like it, like I've said this multiple times. It is not about the space you do it in. It's about the people who are doing it and the know-how and how you relate to each other. That's what makes killer records.
Yeah.
You can make. I've seen Noel's old studio. I lived with Noel, and like he used to record in our fucking shitty basement in Southeast Minneapolis. He used to record drums in my bedroom. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't matter where you're doing it. It matters who's doing it and how well you can communicate with each other. That's the factor.
So yeah, any bands that are listening.
Seriously,
he's a great dude.
I know. I was like,
Every
every band that I talked to was like, oh, we're looking for a studio. I'm like, hit up Noel Tate. Like, he will find things in your band that you didn't know were in there, and you'll be like, I'm so glad, because like we didn't know we could do that.
Yeah, well, shout out Noel, because this came out like I said earlier, it's such an amazing record, and it really does fill that void that I still haven't pinpointed what I was missing, but it's filling it for sure.
That's awesome.
I don't know if it's just because I listen to, like I said, so much Midwest emo. It's all the same like twinkly stuff, just to have something a little bit more aggressive.
We like that shit too.
Yeah,
like,
and there's definitely elements, at least from a songwriting point of view, that are definitely referencing that, I think, kind of sporadically throughout the record. But I mean, Mitch and James and I usually kind of nerd out about that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Every couple practices, like, oh,
Yeah.
it's like that Mineral song, like,
which is
But
super
that's
funny.
not. I mean, okay, but is that Midwest emo? No.
Mineral, where are they from? Like Virginia?
Well,
or
no,
something?
but like, isn't Midwest emo just kind of like?
When they say Midwest, they mean Champagne. Let's be real. They mean American football.
Yeah, I mean it's like kind of that. It's
And
it's
like
basically
Cap and
like
Jazz.
modern,
Yeah.
very much Kinsella influenced
Yeah.
emo. And isn't it kind of just like, oh hey, we want to differentiate from like shitty mall emo that everybody thinks is emo,
But is Saddle Creek
but that's
Midwest
not really
emo?
emo?
Yeah, see,
Saddle Creek is Midwest.
Saddle Creek is. They're like the redheaded step cousin
Yeah.
of American football.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just don't have to deal with the harsh winters.
Because I think what it is like Saddle Creek is like a bunch of drunks. No judgment, but like I think they were like we fucking drink in Omaha.
Yeah.
Well, it's only Midwest emo if it's from the Champagne.
Champagne,
region of
yeah.
Illinois.
Yeah.
Otherwise it's sparkling.
I mean, Champagne drinks too. Like,
Otherwise, it's
but
sparkling light.
Yeah, no, I mean, we're more into like '90s emo.
Yeah, like pre-Bleed American Jimmy Eat World.
I fuck with Bleed American. I rock Bleed American.
I love Bleed American.
I don't like that fucking middle song. I hate that song. But the rest of that record smokes, man.
That whole record smells.
Yeah.
But Clarity's fucking awesome.
Clarity's what's up. Yeah, and so this band also, like, it does not sound like what we thought it was going to sound like at first. Like,
Really?
I think the initial idea was, like, what did I say? Like, Sonic Youth meets Mogwai meets My Bloody Valentine. I think that was what I was.
I think we
saying.
assumed it would be much more shoegazy.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Which like
massive soundscape stuff.
maybe we would sell more records because it's shoegaze is huge now, but I don't know.
We'll just do it on the next one.
No, I don't want to cash in and change.
No.
change it.
I mean, I
I love
think.
shoegaze stuff.
No, we still have
Yeah.
some nice walls of sound that get captured nonetheless.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, I do think it kind of pulls in from all these influences. But I mean, we've written a few more songs since the tracks that we recorded for the record, and I think they're taking a very, very heavier turn.
Yeah, I would almost say they're almost like nastier.
Yes. Yeah.
Like they're and not even like lyrically. I just mean like what you guys are doing is like.
Yeah, the dirty tones.
It's just it's like kind of evil.
It's a little bit nasty.
Yeah.
Yeah, and whether this is these wind up on an LP or dare I say an EP, I think it'll be probably a little more. I don't think cohesive is the right word, but like where there was like a clear direction of the sound, where this was like 10 songs that we accumulated over.
Yeah,
Well,
5 years.
5 years,
Yeah.
basically. I mean, intermittently, but I still think that they, all 10 of those 10 songs still go really
Yeah, they
well
all
together
hang together.
in the record. But yeah,
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get drum machines involved, vocoders,
We're not gonna do that.
melodica.
If you learn how to play it.
I would love it if we actually started using melodic.
Melodica's sick, man.
They have add-ons. You can
If
just
it's
throw
good enough
onto
for
an
New
iPhone
Order,
now.
it's good enough for me, man. I can't even be mad about that.
Mm-hmm.
Also, to go along with the record when it came out, you guys did a record release show with, Lovely Dark, Battery Eyes, and Tender Comrade. Was it like having all of them on the show to kind of help celebrate this?
well, Noel is in Tender Comrade, so that was a huge piece of why we wanted them to play.
Well, they're also a great band.
They're also
a great band.
Yeah.
I mean, we've known Travis and Elliot as well for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
Did we ever figure out if you were at that show that I met Elliot at in Eau Claire?
I don't think we talked about this.
I saw Elliot at a show in Eau Claire, and it was pouring rain.
Or was it one for the? It was one for the
One-
team.
it was one
No,
for the
yeah,
team.
I was there. I went to Japan the next day.
That's fucking nuts.
Yeah,
I didn't even know you then.
yeah.
but then, we mentioned Battery Eyes earlier.
And they're just
They're just
our buds.
They're our
Yeah.
best.
They're just our
best
buds.
buds. It's, band to band.
Yeah.
Their
I think
drummer
they were the
Aaron.
first band that we were like, well, they're gonna play our release show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But their drummer / singer Aaron, he prints all our merch. And Johnny and Nick are also fantastic human beings.
Yeah.
And then Lovely Dark, that's kind of a super group at this point, I would say.
Yeah.
It's got Travis and Sonia, who are the only original member.
I think so.
they're the songwriters
Well,
of the band,
Link was an
and then
original
they're
member,
the
I think.
original thing.
Yeah.
Actually, I think one of their drummers. Well, they had 2 drummers. Although, do they still have 2 drummers?
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
they-
Weren't
did they
you
at the
there?
show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did I miss that?
They were-
I don't know.
Jesus.
The other one was tucked behind
Yeah.
Conrad.
Okay, I was staying at the back of the show the entire time.
Yeah. It was,
It's all good.
it was a wild show.
But
But yeah,
then,
they made sense for the bill. But
Yeah.
it was a roundabout way of getting them on the bill.
Mhm.
Because we initially, Self-Evident was going to play the bill, and Tom was like, oh, I have this Brewers Guild meeting, but I can't do it. I might be at the show later, but I can't play the show. He's
Yeah.
like, but the 2 other dudes in that band are in Lovely Dark.
Yeah.
And he's like, I checked with them, they're all free, they can play it. And then it just made sense because we're friends
Yeah.
with them.
And Sonia and Travis were in Mexico when we asked them to play it,
Yeah.
and they were like, "Yeah, we're playing your show." I'm like, "Fuck yeah, that's awesome."
Yeah.
We played with them once before, like we just like hit it off, like
back in what was
Oh,
it?
we have a good time. with them.
February.
they're just sweethearts.
But didn't you guest on a song that they did?
Not yet. That is in the works.
Oh.
Sorry, I don't know if that was a secret.
I don't know if it's I don't think it's a secret, but like we just haven't done it yet.
Yeah.
But I will. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I don't know, like I just really like everybody in that band. I think they're just awesome.
Yeah.
Our friend Brian plays bass.
Yes.
Yeah, Brian
Who's
is
in
in
Curve and Buildings.
and he's a very close friend of ours too.
Mhm.
That's been like a great confidence booster, I think, early on in this band. Like,
Yeah.
that's somebody
He's
that, at
been
least
very
like for me and
supportive.
Ryan, that we looked up to and was like, hey, you guys are like really good.
Yeah, Brian's been very supportive. Yeah, appreciate that.
And now that they have Conrad in there, that's awesome because
Yeah,
Conrad's a legend.
Conrad's so good.
Yeah. So yeah, we were just really lucky that it all came together. I mean, for a while we were like, we had a couple other people that like that might do it, but just like couldn't nail anything down, and then like it just kind of came together, and I was like, awesome, great. And then I'll be honest with you guys, I was like up until like the week before, I'm like, something's gonna happen, somebody's gonna drop, because we like made silkscreen posters. I'm like, as soon as I commission these posters, I know somebody's gonna get sick,
Yeah.
something's gonna happen, but it didn't. We got lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, considering all things that occurred the week before.
Yeah, that week. Our good friend Tom is no longer with us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tom Berg.
Yep. So, there's a lot of shout outs for Tom throughout the show. So
Yeah, and honestly, like I was really glad that Lovey Dark was playing it also, so that because Conrad and Ben both played Self Evident with Tom, and I'm glad that they got to have that show, because I would have wanted to play a show if my buddy had passed. Like, I would have needed that. So like, I'm glad that we could do that for them and give them that space. That was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, the show was good. Really good crowd, I think.
Great crowd. Great crowd.
Great crowd.
I was kind of worried going into it. I don't know. Not that we needed to be, but it was just like, are people going to come?
You never know. Like, I mean, especially because, if it's your show, you get there early. So it's like, we're sitting there.
We got there at like 5 o'clock.
There's like
Well,
nobody around.
I mean, it was nice that we got to play it at Zora Darling, and Zora Darling
Yes.
has become kind of a home base for us,
Yes.
and it's a lovely place to play.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's, I think the general message here is like, we've been really lucky.
We've been very lucky.
With the people that we've met and know throughout the whole process of this. And, it's just been a real privilege to kind of
Also,
finally
I
say
think
we
lucked
pulled
out.
it off.
We became active at a time where Twin Cities finally has a healthy amount of good venues again.
Right. There
Yeah.
was a while where it was kind of this.
We lost a few
it was
during
weird
COVID
during
and-
COVID, but then
Even
like,
before that, though, like, Triple Rock was gone and Cause
Oh,
was
Was
yeah.
that
gone.
2017?
no,
When
yeah,
that
Triple
shut
Rock
down?
left
Yeah.
before.
Yeah,
before
I'm just saying, like, there was a span where.
Oh,
Did you ever
yeah,
get
there
to
was
do
a
Triple Rock?
Yeah, I got to experience
Okay.
Triple Rock
Yeah, okay.
once.
Okay.
I went for, if you guys remember the band Charlie Siren, I went to their final show at Triple
okay.
Rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, leading up to the pandemic, like stuff was getting meh, and then just I don't know. We have a really healthy base of venues, both for local stuff and for touring stuff.
Yeah.
Because I mean, within the last couple years, even because Zora Darling finally opened up underground music venue with their cafe side and the big venue side. The Green Room, which is in
Just about to
uptown.
say Green Room, which
Yep.
kind of caters to both, and they do a really good job of it.
Yeah, I haven't been there yet either,
Yeah.
but I've heard good things. I know Careful Gazers played there not that long ago. And
Yeah. What's up, Gabe?
Yeah. Who also works at Zora?
Yeah.
Love Gabe.
Cloudland,
I think Gabe
Cloudland
has
is just
worked
a
the door.
lovely little pocket right there.
Every show that we've played at Zora.
Yeah.
And we've played at Zora a shit ton.
Yeah.
More than anywhere else.
Yeah. Cloudland is great.
Cloudland's great. Mortimer's is still going strong.
I love Mortimer's is like,
Time at Mortimer's.
I don't know why, I love that stage so much.
Mhm.
It's just like the shape of it or the size of it. I don't know what it is, but like it's just, I just really love that stage.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I hate the parking situation, but
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
also home to a killer French dip.
Not even
Yeah,
on the
that-
menu anymore,
It's
man.
gone, man.
Get the
It's
fuck
gone!
No! No, are you serious? This is devastating to hear.
Last time we played there, it was gone. We told you.
Oh,
You didn't
fuck.
eat it.
I don't
But
always eat.
our friend Andy Holmes still has a pizza that was done after him.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So
Shout out to Andy Holmes.
shout out to Andy Holmes.
Yeah. Well, you did tell me that, and I forgot it, but I'm re-devastated because I fucking love that friend. Also, fucking the bowling alley, Memory Lane's got rid of their. Guys, that's 2 killer French dips in this town.
That's too many
that are
good
gone.
like beef sandwiches.
Yeah.
Chicago Taste Authority went down about a year ago.
Where's the beef?
Where's
That's what
the
I want to
beef?
know. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
then, I mean, I don't know. Like, I know, like, we've played there a couple times, but, like, White Squirrel, too. Like, for a small, you know, kind of smaller.
Mm-hmm.
West Squirrel's it's nice because it's gonna feel fucking packed, even if there's only like 5 people there.
Yeah.
It's so
Also, their patio is just gorgeous once
Yeah.
it gets warm. Every
Yes.
year, that patio is just lovely.
They don't do shows outside ever.
No, well, I doubt it.
I don't think they
might
can.
do folk shows like
Yeah, I
in
don't
the
think
little hut they've got back there.
Yeah, I don't think
Which,
they
if they're not, they frankly should, because
Yeah.
that again, that patio is just.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, there's tons of great venues,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, which has been really nice.
Mhm.
Because even when I moved here, like, obviously I moved, like, start of the pandemic, so it kind of felt like, okay, we only have a certain amount of venues to, like, really go to, meeting all these people, like, making friends when I moved here, and then, you know, Part Wolf shut down shortly after I moved
Oh, yeah,
here.
Part Wolf.
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah,
I didn't
that
even
got
notice
go- that got
like,
gobbled
for us,
down.
that
That was
was
always the
Nomad.
Nomad,
I
yeah.
forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that was, like, in the, like, White Squirrel 331 Amsterdam. Like, that's the same, like, ownership group. So we
Oh, is
kinda,
that right?
Yeah.
Did-
so
I
we-
didn't know.
I didn't know the owners had that.
No, Josh. Well, Josh, who
Oh.
owns Amsterdam, with the
Oh,
like,
okay.
it's still kind of the like collective of ownership there.
I never got to go to the upstairs space up there. I never. I
Of
know,
the Part Wolf.
yeah.
I've never been.
Another Heaven played a show up there. Shout out to Another Heaven. What's up, dudes? That best band.
Aaron's in
They're
that
the
band
best
too.
band. Yeah, they're the best band. in the
Fucking
world.
rules.
Yeah.
Hands down. No offense to all of our friends that are in other bands.
Yeah, I never got to go to that, but I definitely saw. I think I've only seen a show at Nomad twice, maybe, and one of them was Not a Surf playing acoustic.
Nice.
That was fucking sick.
Yeah. They had a good patio too.
Yeah.
I think, but I think to take it back, I think that we've been lucky that even though we haven't been an active band we've only been playing out for 2 years. I think Kevin's been playing at Great Went. How long has Great Went been?
Great One's been going about 12, 13 years.
Right. And so we've all cultivated relationships. I mean, James knows everybody.
James knows every single.
James
So like
knows everybody.
we've been lucky that we've been able to
He's lived here the least amount.
make
of
these
time.
connections.
Yeah.
Well,
But he works
yeah.
in the industry.
He works in the industry.
Yeah, yeah. no.
But yeah, I think we're lucky that we were friends with all these people. So like when we finally started doing stuff, there was like people were like, "Oh, I've been wanting to check you guys out. Like I've been hearing, whatever." So like there was already like this interest in what we were gonna do before anyone ever heard us, and we've just been able to parlay that and kind of build on it. But we like I say it all the time. Like we don't take it for granted. Like we really do appreciate every bit of love that comes our way because
Yeah.
it doesn't have to go that way, and the fact that it has, and it's not like we're out here like selling tons of records. I don't even know how many we sold. Probably not that much, but like we've been, because the record's only been out for what,
A week?
6 days,
Oh yeah.
and like whenever somebody like sends me something, hey, I was listening to it, like I always screenshot and send it to them. So like, because I think it's important to like remind each other like people are connecting with this and they're feeling, and it's not a vanity thing. It's like it's reassurance that like this 5 years we've been working on this, it wasn't a waste of time. Like it's like people are actually feeling it and like taking it with them, and like if you do something creative, like you need that, and if anybody's listening to this and like they're like, I don't know if I should keep going, like yeah, keep going. Like maybe just focus on being as good at it as you can, but like keep going, because like if you keep at it, people will care.
Yeah. I mean, this is the first band I've ever been in. This is the first band Ryan has played guitar in. This is the first band you've sang in.
It's his high school,
Kevin's played bass
college,
in other
whatever.
bands.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean like throughout, ever since we like kind of like came out, like played our first show and like got out of the practice space,
Yeah.
I feel like it's kind of just been like exceeding my initial expectations,
Yeah.
which is great. It's very validating.
Honestly, I'm just here
Humbling.
for the friendship, if I'm going to be honest.
Yeah,
That
no.
too has
I'm
been
just
great.
here for the
But
friendship.
yeah,
Well-
no, it's been really humbling and like it's been fun. I don't know. It's awesome.
And we do. I mean, any interview that I have or whatever, I always talk about like part of the reason why our band works is because we do care about each other. We do love each other. Like, you know, it's like James. I don't think you know this. James was talking to me after the show, the end of the night of the show. And he's just like, you know, like the friendship is like just as good as everything else. He's like, it's like that night we went and we just like had beers and talked about our dads. He's like, that means as much to me as any song we wrote. I was like, hey man, like it's mutual. Like
The secret sauce is buying each other Miller High Lives.
yeah, which is weird because we're not drinking those.
None of us are drinking right now.
Speaking of champagne,
But like, so like,
He totally should have brought a case of High Life.
It's funny because I bought a case of High Life when I bought these beers, but they're in the fridge in my garage.
but we're drinking. Well, you're drinking Falling.
Yeah.
In tribute.
But
to
we
Tom.
know we're going to consume them later because
Yes.
friendship.
Yeah, yeah. I think I don't know if Alan Epley has invented this quote, but one of the things that I like that he said on his podcast was like, bands are one of the few things that like adult men can do to bond around that isn't sports. It's not whatever, and it's because you all have the same goal. You're focused, and you can have that, and you can like build a relationship with somebody that's like not competitive.
Yeah.
You know.
And I feel like, man, all these like conservative dipshits always talk about like, oh, there's a masculinity crisis and stuff, and like dudes don't have friends.
Yeah.
It's like just fucking be friends.
Yeah.
Like, talk to your friends about stuff.
Yeah.
Talk to your friends about how
Talk
there's
to
a
your friends
masculinity
about your
crisis.
life. Like, I don't know. It's not hard.
Yeah.
I say it all the time that like the thing that I miss about like, and the thing that I hate about the band that I was like running with and dying out is because we all moved away. But like, I just miss the times in the van, just hanging out
Yeah.
on the road trips, like, going between shows. Like that means more, and like I remember all that stuff more than any of the shows we ever.
Oh
did.
yeah. Like touring is like, I mean, it can be really stressful, but it's like so fun.
Yeah.
Like yeah, I don't remember almost any shows from tour, but I remember all the time in the van.
yeah,
It's
same.
It's so much
Same.
fun. And I don't know that we'll ever get that. We've talked about doing like weekend stuff like that. We probably won't ever do anything more than that. But like,
Yeah.
I can't wait till we can do some weekends away because I think we'll just have fun and like, I don't know, like you just get to share stuff with each other that like, you know, at the end of tonight, like you guys are gonna go home to your wives and Kevin will go home crying to our pillows and that'll be it. But like when you're on the road with somebody, it's like, no, dude, we're gonna fucking sleep over.
Yeah. Boys trip.
We're
Yeah.
gonna cry into our pillows.
You
in
gotta
the
buy
same
a van.
place.
We're gonna cry into our pillows
Man.
together.
Yeah, I'm not gonna have a
Because
fucking
friendship.
van. Like
Yeah.
she'll get jacked in my house. Kevin's got a fucking 2-stall garage.
It's pretty sweet.
Yeah,
It's pretty sweet.
yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Tell your friends that you fucking care about them.
Yeah, tell your
Yeah.
friends.
Talk
you
to your
care
friends
them.
about your feelings. That's really
Yeah.
fucking important.
Yeah, and start a band with him.
Start a band with them, yeah. Even if you think you suck, because you might not.
Mitch thinks he sucks all the time,
Still do.
and I always have to tell him like, stop that.
Our songwriting process is usually Mitch brings a song to the table, and then we figure it out, and then we play it a couple times, and then Mitch wants to change it
Then
because he
Mitch
thinks it
doesn't
sucks,
like it a lot. Yeah.
and then we change it to whatever he wants it to be, and
And it's
then
not
And
as
then
good.
it sucks.
and then it sucks, and then
Then
we're
it
like,
gets
good.
ah,
Go back.
it was better the original way. It's like, yeah,
Yeah.
we know, we
Then
told
it
you
gets
that.
good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes it just is like that. Or Kevin wants to speed things up.
I
try
often
it
want
out,
to
and we're
speed
like,
things
no,
up.
it's not good sped up.
Or it's too slow, or whatever.
Or James will be like, there's too many parts. And we'll cut out a
James
part.
loves to say
And then we're
there's
like,
too many
no,
parts.
there's not enough fucking parts now,
Yeah.
man. It was better before. And then it ends up right back at the beginning.
I'm pretty sure James Taylor is the reason our record is 38 minutes. Because
Yeah.
I think that
But I think that's good because it's the perfect
yeah,
length for
Yeah.
it.
he did not allow us to write 6-minute
He's
songs
pretty good
that we
editor.
wanted to write.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think we would have like we can. I think we can have one 6-minute song an album, and it's fine. But like he's pretty good at like being like,
Rein it in.
let's cut
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, for the type of band that we have figured out that we are, I think that it makes sense that we're a solid, 4 minutes.
The
or
songs
less.
are lean and mean. And
Noel
Yeah.
still thinks they're
it
too
just
long.
works
Noel's like,
better.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
but Noel-
Noel writes 70-second songs.
I know. That's the thing. Like you listen to like the entire output of Tender Comrade. There's 4 EPs. It takes like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
So I know we've jumped around a lot talking about the band and the record, but is there anything that I might have missed or we didn't mention that you guys want the people to know about?
I don't know.
Rocky Rococo. It's not as good as it
Season
used to
2 of
Ooh.
Severance was pretty decent. I got it. Yeah, it was pretty solid.
Yeah.
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 Season 3.
Season 3,
White
hopefully.
Lotus was the worst season.
Yeah.
Whoa. I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong.
But Walter Goggins is God. as
Yeah,
far as
that's
I'm
the thing.
concerned. Walter,
Uncle
excuse
Baby
me.
Bill is the best character.
There's actually like a lot of projects where a movie or a show is not that great, but then Walter Goggins just shows up like a force and be like, I'm gonna be good anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should replace you with Walton Goggins.
Yeah. That would
No,
not,
let's
that would
just-
not that would not be
let's-
the wrong move, honestly.
I mean, you're as ripped as him, so you could just.
I-
wear
Let's
a mask.
just have
Right.
him play Kevin in a music video.
Sure. Yeah. That'll be cheap.
Yeah.
I mean, he's
You can
He
deep,
seems like a fun guy.
he's game for
giving
shit.
you-
He might pay for it.
I'm giving you permission to deep fake Walter Goggins over me.
Walton.
Yeah.
Walter.
Walter.
I said it
Goggins.
wrong the first time.
I said it, Walter. Come see me.
Yeah, I don't know. Is there anything else? Any tea? Any secrets we need to spill? I don't think so.
The secret business. I mean, make sure. Well, let's plug. We have shows coming. We're gonna.
When
be
is this coming out?
So this will be out
May.
mid-June,
Oh,
Oh, okay. Okay.
Oh,
yeah,
never
so
mind.
we got a little time.
Well, by the time this happens, we will have played
Palm Fest.
Caterwaul.
Palm Fest will be coming up at that point.
Caterwaul is a cool ass noise rock festival that
Yeah.
Yeah.
just happened a few weeks ago. If you're
Yep.
listening in the future,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
looked up that, from your guys' Instagram. I jumped over that. That is an insane
Oh,
Like,
lineup's
four
ridiculous.
days of
It's
music.
wild.
Like that is
Facts,
crazy.
Buildings Reunion, Piss Jeans.
Yeah.
Kowloon Wild City.
I hope you
In
guys
lieu.
had a good time at Caterwaul
In
when you
lieu.
listen to this.
Yeah. Fucking Young Widows.
Because I sure did.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if this comes out early June, we'll have.
Do we have a
Palm,
June
Palm
show?
Fest will be coming up.
We
Palm,
No,
we,
do,
we,
but
we
I
have
don't
Palm
think
Fest
it's.
in June.
I don't think it's
No, that's July.
announced. So
Is that July?
Yeah, we
Perfect.
have.
So it'll be after this.
Yeah, we have a
Sorry.
show at Ice House, the end of June. I think the 27th.
Yeah.
Ice House.
Probably.
There will probably be a couple of releases that have come out between the time we record this and when it drops.
Not records.
Not full lengths, but like a couple.
No, we got some
couple
like
of surprises.
Yeah, we got some.
They won't be
some-
surprised by the time you hear this. It'll be
Yeah, we got
yeah.
some goodies in the bag.
Are they
Also-
just like songs that didn't make the
We
cut
we
for
got
the
some
record?
B sides. We
Okay,
got
B-sides.
some remixes. We
Yeah.
got some cool stuff
Yeah.
in the
Sweet.
works. So
Cover dropping.
covers,
Yeah.
yeah. And then the new with our label, Learning Curve, will have released the new Bronson Arm record,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Casket Swag.
Mm-hmm.
Which Ryan contends is the best name for an album.
It might be the best name for an album I've ever heard. Yeah,
Is that the record title? I thought that's just.
that's
that's the record title as
Oh,
well.
okay.
Yeah,
I don't know
They're
enough.
still
about-
fucking good. Man,
that's a
I-
weed reference, right? I don't know enough about weed culture to know what the fuck casket swag is.
Yeah, you're the resident.
I just I like to get stoned, but I don't give a fuck about it.
I think it's just funny to say.
It is funny.
Yeah.
Like I'm saying, does it mean something?
yeah.
Is it like a reference to a thing that I just don't
I
know?
don't know.
I don't know.
You just
We'll
like the way
find
it
out.
sounds.
Hopefully by then we'll know.
Yeah, we'll ask him. Those guys seem really cool. They keep sharing our shit, so they seem
Yeah,
like cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
Swag's a great reference, though. Can you even get swag in this country anymore?
I don't know, man.
Like, we seem to have gone really gonzo about good quality weed in this country.
Yeah. The weed's getting better. Everything else is getting worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And ask the pain. That's fine.
Yeah, I don't know what else we have coming up.
I'm sure there's cool shit coming. Like we're pretty good about like keeping the train moving.
We're keeping it fresh.
Yeah, I will say like for 2024, we've had a lot of stuff booked out pretty far in advance.
Yeah.
Which has been kind of nice.
Yeah, we had like the first half of our year booked like in December,
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
which is very. I mean, we only play usually once a month, so it's not that
Yeah,
hard.
we try not to oversaturate.
But we got offered a bunch of stuff that we were like, oh, cool, okay, this just lines up perfectly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, I don't know. Tell your friends like if to listen to our shit. I think that's people forget how cool it is to turn people on to music. Like that was when I was in high school.
Oh, I love doing that shit.
love doing that shit. That was
Probably
my-
to a fault where it was annoying for my
Yeah,
friends.
yeah.
And
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
But like
Totally.
got him.
Fuck you. I'm
Yeah,
treating
but
this
now
shit.
if like somebody's not going to listen to your recommendation, considering how easy it is, that's kind of rude.
Yeah,
I think
that's true.
That's the takeaway. If somebody
Yeah.
recommends something to you, it's not hard to check it out.
It used to
it's
be
rude
really
to
hard.
not check out what your friends
Yeah.
recommend. Check out what your friends tell you to.
It used to be really hard. It used to be like, oh fuck, I don't have that CD. I
I'm
don't know
not
anyone
gonna,
who
I'm
has
not gonna
that
go
CD.
down to the used CD shop.
Yeah,
You know how many
Too
like
sweet.
flash drives I never got back?
Yeah.
All that
Yeah.
shit.
It's like,
yeah.
Now it's just send a link.
Send me a fucking link,
Dropbox
dog.
that shit, man.
But yeah, I mean, listen to all the songs that your friends send you, and then talk about it.
Even if you know you're gonna hate it, listen to it at least
Yeah.
once. Because you might not hate it. You might
Yeah.
fucking love
Funny enough, one of my friends sent me a track last night because he thought it was like a band that I knew the singer from. I woke up this morning, saw that I had a message from him, didn't even get out of bed yet to go shower, and then played the track, and then was like, "Oh yeah, this is sick," and then texted him back, and then got ready for work.
Yeah.
Like,
That's awesome.
Yeah,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
it's a small world, man. Let's keep it like that, you know.
Yeah, and also like start bands, even if you think you suck.
Yeah,
You have 24 usable hours in a day. Start a band.
yeah. I think I said something at our show, but I was like, and Noel was talking to me afterwards. Like, that was a good show. I was like, yeah, you know, like, we could still do hard things. Like, was this easy? No, none of this band shit is easy. But is it worth it? Absolutely. Like, and like, if you think you can't do it, I think you can. I think you can. So you should fucking do it.
Y'all heard it here first.
There you go.
Before I let you guys go, I do have one final question to kind of end off the night. This is the easy softball question for y'all. From your time in, why am I doing a blank? Unstable Shapes. I'm so sorry. I will adjust that. But from your time in Unstable Shapes, what has been your favorite moment that you've experienced so far?
Oh God.
Man. I don't know. Like, so we just played our release show a couple days ago, and I think a couple of songs into it, I just was like, this is going to be the best set we've ever played. And I think I ran over and I gave Ryan a kiss on the cheek.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I
And
didn't even see that.
yeah, and I was just like,
After her song, I think.
yeah, and I was just like, we're fucking doing it. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't want to like overhype. Like, I try to be as humble as I can, but like the fact that I get to do it with these guys, it may not come across that, but I really do try to be as humble as I can be. But like the fact that I get to do it with these guys it really is really critical to me. And I don't know, just that moment, I was like, yeah. And then when we I will say when we played, so we finished our set with a cover of Crackers Low. And we were banding about like what cover should we do, a cover, what cover should we do, and I was like, I want a song that the crowd will sing along to, like that was a thing that I wanted because like it's just a really powerful
It was
thing.
just a nice schlocky.
And like
90s
nobody saw
throwback.
that song coming, and like by the time the chorus of that hits, like that song you might not know, you might be a little too young.
But
to
I feel
know
like
that
even
song.
if you don't know that song,
But you'll be like, oh, I
by the
heard
time
that.
you hear the first half of the chorus,
Yeah.
you know the chorus. It's very simple, and
Yeah.
you can sing along.
And like
Yeah.
people were singing along, and I was just like, "This is the moment I've wanted for 5 years," and it just felt so good. And yeah, it wasn't our song, but like we'll get there. Like I'm not worried about that. I don't know. What are you? You got a moment?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like I mentioned it earlier. Like there are bands that I've loved from the city and looked up to, and then eventually like I became friends with them, and they're like, "Hey,
Mm-hmm.
you guys are doing something that's very cool," and I think that's been like a really nice experience. I don't know.
Talking shop with people in the community is always fun.
Yeah.
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 It's always fun to talk shop.
I think before we played our first show, I said to you like, I think when we figured out our name or something, I was like,
Still don't like it.
I know,
You're stuck
I know
with
you
it.
don't. But I was like you don't know this because you've never been in a band before. But like we're in like a fraternity now, of like cool people.
Remember, he tries to be humble. You know?
No, but but I was like, but not just that. We're like in a fraternity within a fraternity because there's the 5 of us, but then we're in the greater community of like cool
Let's
people.
say community instead of fraternity.
Well, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, sure. I don't know. But yeah, I think it's nice to hear confidence from people whose
Yeah.
shit you've liked for years. So it's a very cool thing. Kevin?
I had a good time playing we played a cover of Bruce Springsteen covering
Oh, man, it was
Santa
so
Claus.
fun.
Oh, that was
Coming
super
to
fun
Town.
too. I forgot about that.
Yeah, we did that over the Crimba season last December, and that was just such...
I don't think anybody expected it.
Yeah.
That was so fun.
I will say my favorite thing that we do is I like it when we surprise people.
Yeah.
I love it when we surprise people.
I love that we had friends that really did a good job of capturing it on video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though I
We
fucked
had
up right
fun
at the
with
beginning
it.
of it.
Joffrey fucking
there was
ripped it.
Yeah.
there was
saxophone.
some lovely fuck ups in the both at the beginning and in the middle of it.
But
Doesn't
it's also
matter.
exactly
It was
like
so
we expected.
fun.
It'd be sloppy.
Yeah.
Kind
It
of drunk.
was so fun that
Yeah.
it didn't matter.
Yeah.
When we clearly were fucking it up, didn't matter because of how much fun we were
That
having.
was very fun.
Yeah.
And yeah,
I loved that.
because that was hard to learn, and it
It was.
It was harder
was-
than it
Yeah,
thought.
it, like,
Yeah.
There's
And yet-
like
and yet-
so many parts to that song.
it was
and
hard
so
to
many
learn.
additional instruments.
And we
that are
really
used
did
and-
pull it together, and
Yeah.
that was honestly when I realized like we are actually a nice little machine that can do this shit when we
Delicate
actually
machine.
Yeah.
Yes, obviously.
yeah. We're a delicate machine, if you will.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like we can pull something like that together fairly quickly enough that I'm so happy that we can like.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we learned that in just like a couple of practices. And then
Yeah.
Yep.
I think going into it the night of the show, I was a little bit nervous about it, but we pulled it off. It was good.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we had I forgot we had hats.
Thank you.
Hats,
hats,
Tyson
Christmas
Boss
lights.
We
made
had
hats.
props.
We had the saxophone.
We had
it was just-
percussive additions, and
Joffrey really
Joffrey
fucking
really
nailed it.
brought it on the
Yeah.
And I don't think
the
anybody
sax.
fucking expected
No.
us to have Joffrey
No.
come out.
Yeah.
Like,
So I don't think we mentioned this yet, but James is also in another band called Lamar. who-
very different sound.
very different.
kind of Americana.
Yep,
like,
singer songwriter type stuff, and Joffrey is the front person of that band, and he also plays saxophone. And
not
also,
in the band though. Well, he probably does on the record, but
yeah,
Yeah.
which also they have a new record coming out at the
Lamar
end of
has a new record
June,
coming
so
out. Yeah.
check that out.
and they're playing Yacht Club, and
Yeah, they're playing
amongst other things,
Yacht Club in the middle of
Lamar's
July.
rightfully
Yeah.
getting like so much play, and he's
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah.
Yep. But for me, I would say in the practice space, like when we can, we've done this probably 3 times, 3 songs that I'm thinking of. When we can, someone brings something to the table and it's done in like an hour.
Yeah.
Like that is, I don't know. It's just like, oh, like we were meant to do it. Kind of gives you like, oh, we're meant to do this kind of vibe.
It's like alchemy too. It's like this
Yeah.
thing didn't exist and now it does.
Right, and like I think Bones, Glass Ladder, and Flesh and Blood and Stars are probably the ones I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
I mean,
Or-
Flesh was the most like that. I think.
Yeah, you showed up and like we just like it was like 45
We
Because
knocked
you
it
didn't
out.
have that.
That
You didn't
was-
come to the practice with that fully written. You came to practice with like a few pieces, and we just kind of like banged it out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like Bones and Glass Ladder, like those were kind of written beforehand.
Yeah, I mean you had enough like
Yeah.
verse, chorus,
Yeah.
bridge, whatever. But like, I mean, some of them you didn't have. I mean, you obviously didn't have drum parts, but or lyrics, but you had like, you know, at least for Ladder, you had an idea for a bass
Flesh was
line.
writing Flesh was really fun because
Yeah, it was just like, and that I mean, it is.
Also, I think we started it like right at the end of practice, and then we were like, "Oh,
We're
20
gonna
minutes
keep
later.
going.
I think we like knocked it out super quick, and then we went over to Grumpy's and had beers, and we were just like, look at how great we are.
Yeah,
I think the big
definitely
takeaway
true.
Yeah, that is true. But I think the big takeaway is that you'll surprise yourself. Like you'll be like, "Oh, I don't know that I could do this." And then you just do it and it's like, "Holy shit." Like
Yeah.
That's such a cool feeling. Yeah.
I think it's like a double-edged sword a little bit because it's like you never know when that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, you can bring this thing to the table, and it's either gonna be you're gonna grind it out for a couple weeks,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes months. Sometimes it'll end up in the trash, which we've definitely
done-
had a
we've done-
couple of those.
Yeah.
We've banged our head against the wall on certain songs, and then eventually given up.
Yep. But other times it's like, oh,
Yeah, it's just there.
30 minutes, we're done. Like
Yeah.
and that's like, I don't know, super rewarding. Obviously, like I like the surprise in that, but or it's
You know-
like you never know when this is gonna happen, but when it does, it's just
You know what I
definitely
love?
redeeming.
Is like, so when that happens, and like, so we'll record on like a Zoom recorder or like on somebody's phone. We'll just demo. Like, it's not even a demo. It's like we're just playing it and we record it, and then I'll upload it into Dropbox. We have a shared Dropbox, and like, well, I'll fucking drive home and I'll play it through my car on the Dropbox, and then I'll get a text from James and like, I just fucking listened to it. This song is awesome, and I'm like, that is so awesome. Like, just to be like, yeah, like we just did this together like 20 minutes ago and we're still like feeling the vibe on
Can
it.
I change my answer?
Yeah.
Can I say when James texts anybody
Yes.
about how good something is?
Yes.
That's my favorite.
Because
part
James
of
can be
this
very
band.
shrewd. And when James is into something, you're like, all right.
James plays it cool hand Luke
Yeah.
all the time, so when he actually speaks up that he...
God damn, it's so fucking good. I'm like, yes. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I can't stress it enough. If you think that you want to be in a band, fucking start a band.
Yeah.
Like, when we first came up with this, I didn't want to write anything.
Yeah.
I remember saying, yeah, I will play guitar if you tell me what to play.
Yeah.
Or if someone tells me to play it. I don't want to write shit. And then I ended up writing most of it.
Yeah.
A lot of it. And, like, just do it. Try it. I don't know.
Yeah. It's worth it.
I mean, it's very much a collaborative thing. But
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
yeah.
But I think I said this at the early shows. Like, you deserve it. You owe it to yourself, and you deserve it to like chase this shit.
Yeah,
if-
just
if
fucking
you
try it
want
out. And if it sucks at first, whatever, keep doing it.
Yeah.
Make it good.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Couldn't say it better myself.
Philosophically, it might be really wrong if you didn't.
True.
Honestly.
Yeah. To thine own self be true.
Yeah.
Socrates said that shit. Or somebody.
On that note,
Yeah.
those are all great moments, and I hope you guys keep experiencing those great moments. I'm really stoked to see what you guys are cooking up for the next release. It's like I'm already intrigued from what you were telling me earlier. If anyone's looking for merch, music, or Unstable Shapes in general, where can I find it?
Bandcamp.
Bandcamp, I would say on social media, Instagram is definitely our number one platform.
Yeah.
We're on Facebook, but we don't like. It's usually just stuff I repost from Instagram. Like, if you want to engage with us, that's where you should do it.
But
And
Unstable
Instagram
Shapes.
also will link you to all the other shit.
Yeah, yeah.
UnstableShapes.bandcamp.com.
Or just at Unstable Shapes on Instagram.
Yep.
Go there, and there's a link tree to all the other stuff.
So yeah, depending on where you found this episode, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Threads, Blue Sky, or you watch the YouTube version and got to see their lovely faces like I did tonight.
I forgot we were on video. God damn it.
Gotcha.
I probably picked my nose like 5 times.
I don't
Sorry,
think I did, but-
sorry if you find some boogers, Michael.
This couch has seen worse.
We were pretty comfortable.
Oh.
Honestly, beer was such a good idea for this podcast.
I mean, it's
Good call.
in the name.
Good call.
Yeah.
It's the whole
Yeah,
premise.
good call.
It'd be funny if like
That's
we
the
didn't
show,
drink beer.
Yeah.
Like if we just had like Chardonnay.
Yeah.
Dude, I've done a mimosa episodes, 40s, but that's still technically beer. But
Yeah.
you know, I'm always
Maybe
down
bowls
for.
of bands. That could be
Bowls with
It
bands.
hasn't happened yet.
That's
'cause
the Patreon
we
version.
won't make
Yeah.
it very far.
Bowls with bands.
Or the episode will be
Bongs
like
with
5
bands.
hours long.
Yeah.
Bongs
Totally,
with bands is better.
Probably harder.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, depending on where you found the episode, go follow Unstable Shapes. Go listen to Delicate Machinery. Get a copy of the record. It is on Bandcamp. Get that nice, beautiful translucent red. I know I need to get a copy for myself.
Hey, we might have some in the car for you.
Shit. All right. But if you're in the Twin Cities, go see them play at one of their upcoming shows. I know I need to get to one very soon. But one last thank you to the 4 of you for taking the time out of your Thursday to sit down with me and talk about your band.
Thanks
Happy
for
to
having
do
us.
it.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
having us.
Appreciate it.
Great time. Everyone, like I said, go follow Unstable Shapes, and I'll catch everyone on the next episode. See ya.
Later.
Beers with bands.